Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I'm finally bringing my true crime fans another murder, mystery, and nails tutorial. I know a lot of you really enjoy these types of videos, so I promise I'm upping my research game and I'll get a lot more of my true crime tutorials uploaded for you guys. And as far as today's nails go, I have the opportunity of being able to review Astound Beauty's Polygel kit. They sent this over to me to try out for you guys, and I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be my first time trying this brand on my channel and in general. This is also going to be a first impressions review, and I will let you guys know my thoughts at the very end of the video. So without further ado, if you're ready to listen to today's true crime case and play with some Polygel with me, then please keep watching. Bye! Hello everyone! First off, look how cute this Polygel casing that this comes in. Like, I love it. I've never seen one like this before. Super cute. I will have this Polygel kit linked in the description below if you'd like to purchase it for yourself. But without further ado, let's get into today's case because it is crazy. Today's case takes place inside of a Lululemon store in Bethesda, Maryland. For those of you who aren't aware of what Lululemon is, it's a very pricey retail store. They sell yoga pants and athletic wear, and they've grown to be quite popular nationwide, actually. But the last several years, they've had tons of ex-employees write strange reviews about working there, and I guess it's a weird environment to work in. But something even stranger would happen back in 2011 inside of the Lululemon store in Bethesda. The two employees we're going to be talking about today are Jana Murray and Brittany Norwood. At 9:30 a.m. on the 12th of March 2011, a 911 call was made in the well-educated community of Bethesda, Maryland, where this would be the first of its kind to happen in this quiet little city.
911, what is the emergency? Two people in the back of my store. One person seems dead and the other person is breathing. The door was open this morning. I think one of my managers came in to open it. Someone tied her up. I need an ambulance right away.
Two women, both employees of Lululemon, were found in the back of the store. Both had been assaulted. One of them was tied up and the other one was already dead. You see, the store manager had arrived at Lululemon that morning and found a horrific scene. She saw tons of blood heading back deeper into the store, where they found Jana Murray laying in a big puddle unresponsive. And then in the bathroom, they would find Brittany Norwood, and she was tied up, her eyes were closed, but she was breathing. And so a 911 call was made. When the investigators arrived, they started to try and put together all the evidence, of course. They noted that the back store room, it was like the break room, it had an emergency exit door inside of it, and police said there were bloody footprints leading to that emergency exit door. And they measured the shoe, and it measured out to be a man's size 14, which is a pretty big foot size. The emergency exit handle also had fingerprints that were visible on it. And based on the evidence, they could tell that at least one of the girls had tried to escape through that emergency back exit, that door as well, but somehow was pulled back in by whoever did this. Money was missing from the till and also missing from the safe, so police were first thinking that they more than likely had a robbery that had gone bad. And when 28-year-old sole survivor Brittany Norwood was able to tell what happened, that seemed to be exactly what she said. The evening before, so March 11th, Brittany and 38-year-old Jana Murray were closing up the store for the night and getting ready to head home. But just after they closed up the shop at 9 p.m. and started heading their separate ways, Brittany notifies Jana that she realized she forgot her purse inside their work, which had her Metro card in it. So she called Jana, who had the keys to get back in. Jana meets her back and they go in about just after 10 o'clock. But they couldn't find Brittany's purse anywhere. So Jana then gave her Metro card to Brittany as she had driven to work that day, so she didn't need it. As soon as they sorted that out and were about to leave, Brittany said two men came in. They entered the store wearing ski masks, and one man struck Jana and then grabbed her by her hair and was continuing to beat her repeatedly. Investigators did find big clumps of her hair scattered around the shop, showing that she was grabbed by her hair and she put up a fight to resist. Brittany was taken to the bathroom by the other man where he zip-tied her wrists and her ankles. She was attacked, and then he cut a hole in her leggings. The two men then took all the money they could find from the safe and the registers, and they fled. The women were then left beaten and bleeding until the next morning. Jana Murray would pass away sometime that night. She had been brutally murdered with a total of 331 different wounds found on her body. She had a red toolbox sitting next to her when she was discovered, and I won't get graphic with you guys, but she was basically beaten with every single tool you can possibly find in a toolbox. Absolutely tragic and heartbreaking. But 107 of those wounds were defensive, indicating that she put up a hell of a fight to whoever did this to her, and she was alive throughout a good deal of her attack. The fatal injury to Janice seemed to be a stab wound to the back of her head. She also had severe bruising and bleeding in her brain. And then Brittany, on the other hand, although she had been through a traumatic incident, her injuries were anywhere in comparison to Jana's. She also had Jana's blood found on her, but don't worry guys, she would explain that away later, or at least she would try.
There were lots of people around at the time that a terrible crime happened inside the Lululemon store on Bethesda Avenue Friday night. A timeline released by police indicates employees closed the store at 9 p.m., then set the alarm and locked the door at 9:45. At 10:05 p.m., two female employees returned to pick up a forgotten item. That's when two men wearing ski masks and gloves entered behind them. Another employee found the victims when she arrived to open the store at 8 a.m. Saturday. Police think it was a crime of opportunity, a robbery that turned into and murder. 30-year-old Jana Murray is described as a valiant fighter who would not have hesitated to protect herself and her 27-year-old co-worker who was beaten but survived. The crime scene may hold the best leads police have at this point.
We are still in the process of collecting physical evidence and doing forensic analysis. My hope is that in the next few days we may get additional leads as a result of that forensic analysis.
The attack in the heart of downtown Bethesda has residents and the business community on edge.
The investigators need to find out who these two ski mask killers would begin. The police started investigating any ski masks that were recently purchased in the area. They sent out feelers for any possible suspects, and a reward of $150,000 would be offered in any information leading to an arrest. The Lululemon store shared a wall with an Apple store. In fact, CCTV from the Apple store would later come out, showing that the employees there that night could actually hear someone dying in the store next to them. One of the employees would tell the police, "I heard noises coming from the right side of the store, something heavy sounding, like it was being hit or dragging, some grunting and some thudding. We approached the area of the store where the sound was coming from the loudest. At that point, we heard some screaming or yelling. It sounded hysterical." The Apple employee said she heard two female voices, one hysterically saying, "God help me, please help me." They would later be fired for not calling the police that night. The bystander effect in action, I guess, that's like a law, supposedly, which is amazing, actually. Regardless, other CCTV footage from outside the Apple store would capture two men wearing all black walking from the direction of the Lululemon store around the time this murder happened. However, police would catch up with these guys, and it turned out they were just a couple of busboys finishing their shift that night. So days passed without any solid leads when Jana's car would be found about 3 blocks away from the Lululemon store, where it was taken in by police and forensically examined inside, and they would find Jana and Brittany's blood inside of Jana's car. Brittany was then questioned by police, and she told them she recovered a memory, you guys. So I guess Jana's car had been parked directly outside the store when the girls came back in after closing up the shop. It wasn't supposed to be parked there, but they were just going to be running in and out to get the Metro card, right? Now, this is where things get strange, guys. Brittany told the police that Jana's car, which was parked on the road outside of the store, well, the fact that it could have been towed apparently scared the shiz out of the attackers. So after they're done attacking Jana, they threatened Brittany, and they tell Brittany, go and find Jenna's keys. They make her go and park the car somewhere else down the street a little way. And then they tell Brittany, once you're done moving the car, you need to come walk back to the store because we aren't finished with you yet. And guess what Brittany does, you guys? She did what they said. She moved the car and then walked her butt back to the store with these two killers, which makes sense, right?
Explain to you guys how that night played out.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to him and zip tying me, they made me move her car.
Okay.
I know where her car is. And they seemed to know where it was, where she was parked.
Okay.
They asked, they said, where are her keys? I have no idea. One of them punched me in my head and made me look through her coat and her bag for them. When I finally found them, they said if I was to pass anyone and open my mouth, I can consider myself dead. And that one of them would be watching the entire time. And I honestly don't remember the exact lot, but they said to cross, it's almost like on the other side of Wisconsin or something.
Okay.
From that street. I remember seeing a cop and I was just too scared to even flag him down, do anything.
Was that like when you left the store or when you were parked?
When I left the store.
So when you first left the store, okay.
And he was driving past in his car?
I think so.
Okay.
And how did you fall onto Jana? I mean, were you on your hands and your knees or straight down, face down?
On my knees.
Okay. Were you straddling her or were you actually physically like pancaked on top of her or what?
They pushed me on her. He touched her head.
You touched her head? With what?
And that slid to the ground.
Okay, so your hands got in the blood on either side of her?
Yes.
Okay. I know it's hard.
And blood all over.
You had blood all over you? And then what? And what, did he say anything to you when he pushed you down?
It's my fault.
Okay.
This is because of you.
As I'm sure you know by now, Brittany's story was just screaming BS from the moment she opened her mouth. And by the way, medical exams were done on both women and it showed that neither of them had SA done to them, by the way. But remember how I mentioned the bloody size 14 man shoe print that was found at the crime scene? One of the attackers, right? Wrong. It turns out Lululemon didn't sell shoes, but they did have shoes that size in the store. They were apparently for customers to wear as they tried on shoes. That made me laugh because I was like, why would anyone just put on a huge shoe that is 10 sizes too big to try on with their athletic clothes? But anyway, when the police were examining the footprints at the scene, only 2 sets of footprints were found. The size 14 shoe and guess who else? Drumroll, please. Brittany's footprints. And more evidence showed that the bloody socks Brittany was wearing that night, the print left inside the sole of her shoes matched the bloody soles inside of the men's 14 shoe, indicating that Brittany wore both of the shoes. Not only that, but the zip tie that Brittany had on around her wrists had teeth marks on it, indicating that she had put them on herself. Also, it came to face that the robbers didn't bring anything with them to the scene. Everything used in the attack came from inside the store. The zip ties, the weapons, the tools, the pipes, everything that was used came from inside the store. The robbers just got lucky and had all this stuff lying around. Seems kind of weird, right? Well, that's what happens when they don't exist.
Brittany, comes a point sometimes, and we have to break down and get everything off of our chests. You gotta tell us what really happened.
I'm telling you.
Okay, because I know what really happened.
I told you what really happened.
No, what you've done is you've concocted an incredible story that doesn't make any doggone sense.
No.
With the injuries that you have, they're self-inflicted. Yeah, they're self-inflicted. You did this to yourself. It's incredible that you want me or anyone to believe that you're lying like this overnight, haven't moved, okay? That's posed. Nobody in the world is going to believe this story. No one. He doesn't believe it. My boss doesn't believe it. When I tell your brother and your sister, they ain't gonna believe it. And your mother and your father, they're gonna say, bullshit.
Can I go home?
In a little bit, but how did it start? Come on, let's get this over with. Come on, baby, let's get this over with. Nah,
Listen, I don't know if I can let you go. You just tell me right now. Did you do it?
Chrissy, I just want to go for
Brittany,
you.
I'm not gonna let you go. But you need to tell me so I know how to talk to these guys. Because if you did, we have to get you a lawyer to defend you. And it's gonna be a media storm. You need to tell me right now if you did.
I just don't want to talk about it here.
Brittany would then be arrested for first-degree murder.
It's a murder case that has stunned many here in Maryland and even grabbed national headlines. Jana Murray was laid to rest this weekend after being killed in the yoga store where she worked. Now, in a twist few saw coming, her co-worker has been charged with murder. ABC's John Hendren has more on the clues that finally tipped off investigators.
As we began analyzing the forensic evidence and looked at the medical reports, it was not supporting what Ms. Norwood had told us.
Norwood will appear in court tomorrow. Law enforcement experts say police will be combing through her past, looking to make sure nothing like this has ever happened to anyone else who was around her.
So, what really happened that night? Well, a few days prior to March 11th, before the murder, management of the store had called everyone in for a meeting. A store meeting because they had suspected someone was stealing. Then, on the night of March 11th, when Brittany and Jana were closing up, Jana, when doing a bag check, found a pair of yoga pants in Brittany's purse. They had tags on them and all still. Jana questioned her, and Brittany said she had just bought them from another worker. She paid for them just the other day. She said the other employee forgot to take the tags off, and if she didn't believe her, she could just call and ask the girl. So Jana calls on her bluff. She calls the employee, but she didn't answer the phone, unfortunately. So then they close up the shop for the night, and then after leaving, Brittany calls Jana and told her she forgot her Metro card. And then once they got back inside, they had some kind of altercation about Brittany stealing, and then the attack happened. Brittany went after Jana and hit her with multiple different tools. She used them one by one. The attack took at least 10 to 20 minutes, and Jana was alive the entire time, right up until Brittany separated her spinal cord with a knife. After Jana died, Brittany staged the crime scene and made up the whole spiel. She then moved Jana's car and sat in it for an hour and a half, thinking of what to do next. She even went as far as cutting holes in each of their pants to try to make it look like they were assaulted. She then tied herself up using zip ties and then posed in the bathroom all night, waiting for the manager to arrive at the store the next morning. So, what the heck, you guys? Like, what could cause someone to do this over stealing a pair of yoga pants? Literally unbelievable to me, and I feel so bad for Jana's family. But looking more into this case, it turns out that when Brittany and Jana went back to look for the Metro card, Brittany had tried to talk to Jana into, she tried talking to her about not reporting her for stealing, but it turned out Jana had told her that she already reported her for stealing that night. And then Brittany just snapped on her. There really isn't more evidence on like the motive that I could find. Both Brittany and Jana had really loving and supportive families. Brittany was a star soccer player. She had no criminal record, though this wouldn't be her first time accused of stealing. But still, her doing this, it seemed way out of her character, in my opinion. There has to be more there, but unfortunately, Brittany would never tell us anymore. When she went on trial, her defense would claim second-degree murder. They said she didn't premeditate this crime. It was a spur-of-the-moment killing. But the prosecution was like, nuh-uh, sis, that killing was intentional and deliberate. And luckily, the jury agreed, convicting Brittany of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life in prison, no parole. The judge said that in all of his years, this was the most heartless case he'd ever seen. And he had never seen such a brutal attack on another person, ever. In 2015, Brittany requested a new trial, which she was denied. So yeah, the story, it's insane. I guess the company has a really like cultish following. There's tons of articles of ex-employees writing about their experiences, and I urge you guys to go and read some because it's nuts. One of the main articles that I was reading was talking about the girl that worked there. She said that at a normal job, at a normal lunch break, you'll see people eating pizza and sitting on their phone, whatever. But if you work at Lululemon, no, that's not allowed. You're supposed to do headstands and yoga, and you're supposed to go to like the library inside of the Lululemon employee break room and like read self-help books. And they have like this fictional character. Her name's Ocean. And if you're a Lululemon employee, you're supposed to like strive to be like Ocean. And she's like the dream Lululemon customer. She does yoga every single day. She makes $100,000 a year. And she has like a doctor, and she has a triathlon husband, and his name's a Mountain. And they have like this fictional character whose name's Ocean, and they all strive to be like her. It's literally in the employee handbook, and like they have to just do all this weird stuff. And so yeah, people like say it's really cultish and it's a really hard environment to work in, and that's like conspiracy, part of the reason why Brittany snapped. But whatever, like there's no justification for that. That people work in harsh environments every single day and are not like pushed to do something like this. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. My next video, which I'm going to have out in 2 days, is another murder and mystery video back to back. I told you guys I was up in my game. How cute is my rhinestone application on these nails, by the way? I'm not trying to like be conceited, but I'm proud. Like I thought these turned out so cute. The rhinestones, that is. I know they were pretty simple. By the way, so I wanted to give you guys my review on the Polygel itself. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 only because when I first started on my thumb, I don't know if you guys remember, but my thumbnail like was very sticky, very weird to use, and I don't know why that was. It was like the Polygel needed like mixed up almost. Like I needed to mix it around, and then the rest of it worked good. It was just that one time I squoze it out, it wasn't like, it was so sticky and it didn't really want to work with the slip solution. But other than that, really enjoyed the kit. Comes with everything you need. Super cute colors. I love the palette. It has slip solution, which I liked. It has the lamp, and this is what I came up with. It's Valentine's Day vibes. Since, Valentine's Day is next week, so this will probably be the last set I do of the Valentine's nails, but I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I love these murder mystery ones. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions of cases you would like me to cover in the comments below. And then in a second, I'm going to show you guys how they glow in the dark, but so when you film in the dark, especially like with a phone, I use my iPhone, it doesn't really focus, like it doesn't know where to focus. And so it usually, like, it doesn't look that good right now because it's not focused, so I'm sorry. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to give a shout out to all my channel members because they're the ones that keep my channel going and take the extra step to support me, which if you'd like to join, the link is in the description. But shout out to Maria's Nail Journey, Penny Vestina, Nicole Boyer, Nailed by Sabri Griffin, Enriquez Family Goods, Michelle Foy, Shelly Bateman, Cassandra Lynn, China Fierce B, Kaylin Nails. And then we go to the next page. We have Jennifer Landris, Crystal Colton, Alicia D, Kylie McGee, Vivi Rivera, and Nikki Nailed It. Thank you all so much for joining my channel memberships. Hello and hi to all my new channel members. I love you guys. You guys are so amazing. We're going to have our first live stream tomorrow night, Friday night, for my channel members. So if you want to join that, chit chat, hang out with us, then make sure to join that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.